Hello knitters, and welcome to another podcast, a Knitter's Life podcast. I'm trying a new location because where I normally record is kind of closed off for the winter. We use that bedroom as our spare room, and that's where I kind of have my knitting corner. But in the wintertime, we don't heat that bedroom and we close it off. So I don't know if this will work, but we'll try it. And I'm keeping my voice down because Arthur is sleeping and I don't want him to wake up like last time. But I guess if he does, you guys get to see him again. So how are all of you? Are you freezing? It's freezing here. It's right before I started, I checked the weather temperature again, and it was minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit, and the wind chill was minus 20. So it's really quite cold here. It usually doesn't get that cold. It's, it gets cold here in Indianapolis, but it doesn't get that cold. This is more normal temperatures for Vermont or the northeast coast, which is, I was born in Vermont. So my mom does tell us tales of having a little heater to keep the battery in the car warm so that the car will start in the wintertime. And but anyways, you just dress for it and you plan on it and it's okay. When I was a court reporter, I worked downtown Indianapolis, and I would have to walk outside between depositions. I would have to walk to the next deposition, and I'd be pulling all my equipment, and I had a wool coat, but it wasn't warm enough for that kind of cold walking outside. So I remember going to a thrift store and finding a big, thick, fake fur coat. And that thing was so toasty, I could walk anywhere downtown without getting cold, and it was wonderful. So I call it my big bear coat. And but that's definitely big bear coat weather. So anyways, Happy New Year. I didn't get to say that either. I'm sorry my podcast last time was so late. I did record it before Christmas, but got it up after Christmas. So hopefully this one won't take so long. But anyways, it's life. We've had, JK has taken a little more time off of work. So he's been off this week, which has been really nice, because last week was still filled with Christmas things and family from out of town, and that just makes it a little harder to rest. So this week we're getting in some rest, and which has been nice because John has had 2-hour delays for school. So, and he's only half day, so he's only at school for about 2 hours. So JK has just been staying down there and going to a coffee shop and reading a book and then picking him up. So that's nice because Arthur can stay here with me and get his nap in. So it's all been working out perfectly, which is nice. But anyways, I thought I'd join you here and tell you a few things of what I've been up to. I went ahead and made my new journal for January, February. I don't know how long it will take me to fill this one up, but my Christmas journal that I made is specifically for Christmas in December. So I've put that away for next year because I haven't filled it up, so I can get probably one more year in it. And I cut out from my magazines, and I've been filling up the pages with some things and ideas. So you can see I cut pages out of magazines that I'm throwing away. This had some pictures of snowy Williamsburg. JK and I went to Williamsburg for our honeymoon. So it has some really great memories for us. It was in November, so we had the place really to ourselves, which was so fun. So anyways, and then I fill it up with things that I hear from other podcasts, things I'm thinking of, design ideas. Sometimes I don't want to print a pattern out that I'm working on, and I'll just jot down the main ingredients and put it in there and just fly by the seat of my pants for the rest of it. I know, I'm crazy. But anyway, so this is my journal, and I love the quote that's on the back. It says, it's by Emily Bronte. "I shall smile when wreaths of snow blossom where the rose should grow." And I love that because I have roses in my backyard, and it does look like a wreath of snow when they're covered up with snow. So when the rose bushes and my climbing rose are covered up. Thankfully, I did put burlap around my backyard roses because I lost so much of their growth last year. So I made sure that I covered them up and snuggled them down nicely for winter with a good heavy blanket of leaves. So hopefully come spring they should be okay. Last year I have a beautiful climber. It's a New Dawn rose, and it's the rose that my rose petal shawl is designed after. And it lost so many canes. I had to cut the canes all the way down to the root last spring, and it was so sad because just the year before it had been so glorious. There was one week where I just had hundreds of blooms on it, and it was heady to go out there and smell all the beautiful fragrance from them. But anyways, I'm getting distracted. That's my book. I've been enjoying it. So I also got in the mail, I bought this from Lilybrook Farm, and they are on Etsy. Lilybrook Farm is a sheep farm in Maine, and it is run by my mom's cousin. We call her Aunt Nina. She's not really our aunt, she's more of our cousin, but we call her Aunt Nina. So she has sheep and raises the sheep. She has Scottish blackface sheep, and they're a very hardy sheep. You can't really use their wool for a hand knitting, but I have used their wool to make several different things, and I've shared that with you guys in the previous podcast. But she is running, she has this, she's selling this string, and she calls it the Grateful String. She's selling it to raise money for hay for the sheep, for the horses this winter, because as you know, it's expensive to buy hay, and especially for the cold winters, they need a lot of hay. So she talks about how gratefulness changed her life, and just being grateful, the act of being grateful changed her life, and it can change ours. And I love that thought. I love that thought of teaching the boys to be grateful, and I love the tangible act of holding on to something and saying what you're grateful for. Aunt Nina has a special bench on her farm. It's called the Blue Bench, and you have to hike a little bit through the woods and the pasture to get there. But you go, it sounds like, I've never been there and I need to go. Anyone who goes to the farm, you have to go to the Blue Bench. And it's a thinking bench, and it's a happy bench where you talk and share your feelings and laugh. I mean, they have the funniest pictures up there. They also, Mom says it's just a good place to go and think up at the Blue Bench. So on your way up to the Blue Bench, Aunt Nina has this string, and she has anyone who comes up to the Blue Bench grab it and say what they're thankful for, as an act of gratitude, and to help people understand how gratefulness can change our life, and being grateful for the little things. It sounds stupid, but just even being grateful for, a warm house, and that the furnace is still on. Last year, my sister's, the electricity went out because of the high winds and the snow that we had, and they were without heat for a long time, and it was cold in their house. So those things can happen. Anyways, that being said, I bought one because I wanted to teach the boys to be grateful, even for the small things, and I thought, what a neat story to be part of, and to buy hay for the sheep. So I will give you a link to that so you guys can see that too, but it's Lily Book Farm on Etsy. So, and you can see hers. She also has a Facebook page for Lily Book Farm, and you should go there and see all the beautiful pictures. She's an amazing photographer, and her pictures are just gripping. So you'll really enjoy it. So go there and check it out. The other thing that I wanted to show you that's not really, I didn't knit it. I went thrifting right before Christmas. And look what I found. It's an all wool blanket. It's fingering weight, and it's crocheted, and it's just gorgeous. So I was so thrilled with it. It is so beautiful, and it is so warm. It reminds me of Attic 24 colors. Do any of you read her wonderful blog? She is such a wonderful artist with her crochet and her ripple blankets. And this one just says to me, February, and Valentine's Day. So I'm looking forward to putting this on the couch for February. In the meantime, I've been using it to wrap up at night because it's just perfect size. Came home and I gave it a good hot soak and a good wash, so it smells so nice and clean now. But it's amazing the things that you can find that people are throwing away. If only blankets could talk, it would tell us a story. But now it's here with me, and I'm enjoying it. So that was one of my thrifting treasures that I just was so excited to find. It must have taken hours to make this blanket because it's so, I don't know if it will show up, it's so fine. And I'll show you too. I've got 2 cameras going because I don't have time to record if one doesn't work. So we'll see which one works. Okay. A sip of tea. My tea is probably cold. It's okay. Finished objects. Okay. So I finished my lovely groovy socks that I was knitting along with Disa and Amelia, and I love them. I have worn them and I have washed them. They just came off of the washing line. I don't block my socks after I wash them because I like them to be nice and tight and squishy when they go back on my feet. So I don't block them. That's the only thing that I don't block. Everything else gets blocked, but I like them to be nice and tight. I like nice and tight socks. So these were actually, I have skinny feet, so these were 56 stitches, I think, on a size 2.25 millimeter needle. And the yarn is Croy sock yarn. And I forget the color. Sorry. Okay, the other finish. Now, Jones has been finished for quite a while, but he got a sweater. Here, let's show you guys his sweater. He got a sweater. Dun, dun, dun. In the advent calendar, as I talked about last time. And then he got a coat, and I decided to go with a gray coat. A gray coat because, I don't know, it just looked good. And then a red scarf, and the scarf is so cute. It's one of those fisherman scarves, so it's knit and purl and garter stitch, but you just tie it and it flaps out so nicely. And then he got a hat. Don't you just adore his hat? Oh, I just think his hat is so cute with a little pom-pom. So he's quite happy. He is quite well outfitted for the snow, and he's ready to go on some adventures, but he does think that it's a bit too cold right now. Wind chill factors of -20 doesn't sound very good. -20 Fahrenheit, so I don't know what that would be Celsius, but I'm kind of curious to see what it would be Celsius. But anyways, he is ready for an adventure. We'll wait a little bit. It's a little too cold to go sledding, but this was so cute because John found, I think I mentioned last time, John found Jones And he said, "Oh, Mommy, we haven't taken Jones on any of our adventures lately." And I said, "Oh, why do you think that is?" And he said, "I think it's because he doesn't have a coat and a hat, so he needs one." So I made him a coat and a hat and a scarf. So these are not, there aren't any patterns for this. I just made them up. I am sure that if you badger Kay of the Bakery Bears enough, she might make you a pattern for the coat and the scarf and the hat. Sorry to put you on the spot, Kay, but it would be a good idea to come out with some more clothes for the bears. So anyways, there he is, and he's quite happy and quite warm, and I'm quite envious. One thing that I wish that I had right now is leg warmers. It's not quite cold enough in the house to wear leggings underneath my jeans, but it is cold enough to have leg warmers. So I'm really wishing that I had a pair. The other finished object that I finished was this. This is my, what I'm going to call the Isle cowl, because it is a combination of patterns that you find in the British Isles. We have the lace pattern, and it's black, so it's very difficult to see, but there we go. It's a very easy lace pattern. It's a 2-row repeat, which is so easy. And then, of course, a very traditional Fair Isle pattern of the X's and O's. The hugs and kisses, I always think of it. And I like to wear it like this. Whoop, took my hair down. With the Fair Isle part in the front, and it is so nice and so thick and so warm. I wore it all day yesterday because it was so cold, and it was just perfect. I think I might end up wearing it today too, even though I'm quite warm in this scarf, but I have to go out. I have to go food shopping. So it is going to be out soon. I was just putting the pattern together yesterday, and I'll send it off to Gina of Brownie Knits because she's my excellent tech editor, and we shall have it out to you guys soon. It is really simple and really fun, and if you've never tried stranded knitting before, it's a good pattern to try on because you're going round and round on a 16-inch circular needle, and you don't need to steek it or cut it. And the thing is about Fair Isle knitting here, it looks so complicated, but if you take it row by row, see how in that red and white row, there's only 2 strands. Good Fair Isle knitting, good technique, only has you put 2 colors in on 1 row. So that's what I've done. Every row only has 2 colors, so you really only need to learn how to hold 2 in your hand. I hold 1 in my right hand and 1 in my left hand. I'm usually a thrower, but just because I like the feel of it, I've tried to be continental, but I don't like it. And knitting for me is for pleasure, so why do something that I don't like? So but I have learned continental so that I can do stranded knitting and hold 1 in my left hand. I've often joked that I could do continental all the time if I just held a string in my right hand for comfort. Because I love stranded knitting. I love the feel of the 2 in my hand. But anyways, so that is that. And it is quite warm and it's quite lovely. The yarn is a worsted weight, and I used Knit Picks Wool of the Andes because they had so many colors to choose from, and you could do so many different color combinations. I don't often get out to my local yarn shop, which is so tragic, but it is hard just with the school and the boys and 2 nap times and all the chores that need to be done. It's hard to go out and find time when I don't have the boys with me. And I love my boys, and they are very good boys, but that's a lot to ask them to go with mommy to a yarn shop and be quiet for a few minutes while mommy looks. So I have fallen in love with Knit Picks and Etsy because I can order things during their nap times. So I'm quite pleased with that, and it's been keeping me warm. So I'm happy. Sometimes when I've thought of an idea and I finish it, I don't like the result and I have to simmer on it for a while, but I really love the result of this, and it came at the perfect time because it's quite warm. You might think a worsted weight, that's quite thick, but it actually isn't that thick, and it's just the perfect weight for this cold winter. So I'm quite delighted by it. So anyways, that is that. The other finished thing that I have been working on, I made some bags. These are special bags for some special people. And my bags aren't that good, but they're fun to make. Again, it's a felted sweater with some applique and some crochet at the top. And inside the bag, the kit isn't complete, but I spun up some beautiful yarn. This is 4 ounces of like fingering to DK weight. And it's merino and silk and a bunch of different things. I spun up a bat that was just gorgeous. And so this is for somebody special. Then I also made, to go along with it, some cute little stitch markers. And I need a needle. Let's see, here we go, to show you these. Because they're so cute. They're little cups of tea or cocoa or whatever you want to imagine that they are. They could be knitting or they could be frothy coffee. Whee! Whoops! I lost one. I'll grab it. Let's see. How can I show this to you? There we go. Will it focus on them? If they're still? I don't know. Isn't it? Oh! I lost one into my tea. Okay, that's enough of that. We'll have to grab that one out a little later. Put that back in. Don't forget about the one in my tea. Oh, goodness. And then I made this bag. And this has yet, the yarn is still on my spinning wheel. But it's equally lovely and nice and thick. And it has some red. And I won't try this. I'll just show you one. It has red little sweaters in it. Isn't that cute? Ooh, it's so hard to show you. But they're so cute. So that is that, and I will show you the yarn hopefully when I am finished with it. But I'm spinning up that, and it's, of course, what do you think the color of the yarn is going to be? It's going to be red, so I'm quite excited about that. The problem is I'm giving the red one away, and I really want to keep it. So I think I showed you that one last time. Wasn't it pretty? Now, we are up for what's on my needles. Not much. I am working on a test knit, which is always boring for you guys, but I will show you. I am using this beautiful alpaca, and I've never used this before. It is Knit Picks Andean Treasure, and I will say it's quite nice. I was a bit surprised, very surprised, but it is quite nice. So I might use that yarn in the future for something. But that's the color. I can't show you what I'm working on, but then Knit Picks. This is a Knit Picks episode. They got in right around Christmas time some more of their wonderful Felici. Oh my goodness. I don't know why, but I love this yarn. I love the self-striping. I like how soft it is. So I had to get 2 skeins to make myself a pair of socks. I don't know well, I do know why they just had it discontinued, but it's rather sad, and I'm glad that they brought back a few colors just for here and there, so to tide us over. I'm sure some of you went overboard ordering tons and tons, but that's another pair of socks on the needles, and I really need them to be finished now because it's freezing. Okay, this is hysterical. This is really, really funny. So, I have gotten addicted to watching Tilly Trout. She is just so wonderful. And, I wish I could sit down with all of you in person and we'd have so much fun just laughing and talking and knitting. But I loved the sideways garter vest from Pearl Soho that she showed that she was knitting. And I thought, oh, okay, I'm gonna knit one because I have just the right yarn. I had purchased this huge ball, and this has shrunk quite a bit in size because I've done quite a bit of knitting, but it was gigantic. I purchased this huge skein of Aran weight yarn from Briar Rose about 4 years ago, I think. There was a sale at my local yarn shop right around Christmas time, and I went and I got it as a special treat for myself. And I haven't used it. For a long time it just hung there because it was so pretty in my room. And then I wound it up last year because I really wanted to make something and I never got around to making it. But I thought, oh, this is perfect. And after I do something really intense like the holidays and all the things that were required for that, I usually feel like knitting garter stitch. Gina knows me well. I think she mentioned in our crossover episode that garter stitch is my go-to stitch for relaxation, and it is. So I was feeling in desperate need of relaxation. So I cast on a huge garter stitch project, which is the sideways vest from Pearl Soho. And if you see, I've already made it past one armhole and I'm into the back, and I'm really enjoying myself. I really, really am. It feels so good to work with big needles, and these are size 8s. So to me that's big because usually I'm working with size 5s and size 3s. So it feels good to work with size 8s, and it feels good to have the big fat yarn in my fingers, and it feels so good to have the squishy garter stitch. Well, the funny thing is that on the most recent episode of Tilly Trout, she has decided to frog her garter stitch vest because she's getting really bored by the garter stitch. Isn't it amazing how we're just so different, and it's wonderful. So she's tired of it, and I am enjoying it, and I need it so desperately. So that's the joy of patterns. There's always something for somebody. So Tilly, I shall show you my garter stitch vest when I am done. And that's okay if you frog yours, it's okay. So I am really enjoying it. I'm loving it because oftentimes I will be cold, but if I throw on a heavy sweater, well, oftentimes I'll wear a vest, a down vest over a sweater like this to keep myself warm. But sometimes when I'm working with the boys or playing down on the floor, I get warm after running around. So I take off the vest, and this will be a nice throw over a sweater or something. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm not too sure that I will have enough yarn. I think I will, but I couldn't find the ball band, and I couldn't remember what exactly the yarn was from Briar Rose, so I couldn't go and look it up. So my plan is, I have some nice black that would pair well with this, and my plan is to do a stripe up the front. I'll show you. It sounds weird, but I'll show you if I don't have enough. So, but I'm really enjoying this. So I wish I could knit on it all day. But that is that. The other thing, that is that of all the things that I am working on. I'm not working on a ton. It's after the holidays. I need a breather. But I'll show you this first. Let's see. I don't know. You can't see it as well. Let me grab them out. they're so pretty. I feel like I'm holding a bouquet of flowers. Doesn't it look like that? Doesn't it look like a bouquet? Look at that. So pretty. Right after Christmas, I was reading on Instagram, and I saw that Vanessa Cabin of Do You Mind If I Knit had tragically died in a train accident, and I was really sad by that news. Vanessa was such a wonderful artist and such an amazing knitter, as well as a crocheter. She was a beautiful crocheter. And if you haven't ever read her blog, you really should go and read it. Go back a ways, because the posts that are up there right now are rather sad. They're about her marriage ending and her art taking a little different turn. It's still beautiful, but it wasn't full of color as it once was. So on December 30th was her funeral, and we all put up pictures to remember her and to participate, since obviously we're all flung to many parts of the world and we couldn't be there for her funeral. And it just over the next few days, I was thinking about her and reading her blog and reading the beginning of her blog, which is so sweet and so tender, and how she talked about how she wanted to be the color chief cheerer-upper, because the world needed more color and more cheer and cheerfulness. And it was just so heartbreaking reading in light of her death, being hit by a train. And so I needed to do something just to think about it more. I think sometimes we rush by things in life really fast, and I wanted to remember her in a happy way. So she knit this beautiful Fair Isle scarf, and I forget the date on that. I will post a link to that in the show notes so that you can see it. But I want to knit a cowl with these colors, because these are the colors that she has her scarf made out of, and knit a Fair Isle scarf or cowl just like she did, and take some time and read her blog posts, and take some time to celebrate her as an artist, because she was a really awesome artist. So I am going to start it in about 2 weeks, and I thought that if any of you want to join with me, that would be awesome. I will put up a separate thread in the Ravelry group I will let you know the colors of these colors, and again, I'm using knit picks because that's easy for me to get out, but because I can just order it online in bed. But you are more than welcome to use whatever you want to, and you're more than welcome to use the different colors too. I chose these because these mimic the colors that Vanessa used. And I'm going to put together some charts, and I'll probably divide it up maybe into 6 weeks or 6 different portions. I don't know that it would just be 6 weeks, and might be 12 weeks or so, 2 weeks for every portion of Fair Isle knitting. But then I will post those charts so that you can knit along with me if you want to. And I'll also post maybe some readings from her blog that kind of correspond to maybe those colors, or she loves gardening too, and her garden was beautiful. She was a children's book illustrator, and she has just the cutest books. So anyways, I'll post more about that online, as I might write a little bit better than I speak right now about it. But I hope you will join me if you want to. If you ever read Vanessa's blog or once you do, you might want to join in. She's just such a brilliant artist, and that she deserves to be remembered, and remembered well. So I think I will probably do a hashtag on Instagram so that you can share your projects, and it will probably be remembering Vanessa or something like that. So anyways, I thought that would give us all a chance to just celebrate her as an artist, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it will be nice to do that and celebrate her work. So that is that. That is all for this week, and I hope you all stay warm and cozy. I know it's a time of soups and stews and a glass of red wine by the fire. Yesterday was cold too, so we made a fire while we had breakfast, and that was really nice. Just this fire in the fireplace is so warm and cozy. I kind of wish we had a wood stove. That would keep us really cozy, but anyways, that's okay. We have a fireplace. So anyways, well, enjoy the next few weeks. Stay warm, stay cozy, and keep knitting. You can find us on Ravelry in the Ravelry group section as A Knitter's Life, and come and join the group. Oh, there's been some new people that have joined. Oh, and they're so lovely. You have to go read about them and say welcome. Please do. Margaret Markey from Eastbourne, England, and she said that's on the south of England, very most south part, and the Chalk Cliffs, which there's several British TV shows, and I'm not recalling them, but the names right now, but they show the beautiful Chalk Cliffs of southern England, and just looks stunning. But Marky joined and introduced herself, so welcome. So excited to have you. And the Giddy Crafter joined too. Welcome. We're so excited to have you too. So thank you for joining and for introducing yourself, and it's so wonderful to just to see the group interact and share. And for Veronica in Poland, it's downstairs on our way out the door. I have your package all packaged up, and it's ready to go to you from the things that you won. I just have been so stymied by the 2-hour delay of school all this week, and the very cold weather, and don't want to take the boys out. So I'm hoping that maybe this afternoon when I have to go food shopping, I'll put on my big bear coat and brave the weather and go to the post office and get that to you, because I'm sure that in Poland it's quite cold and dreary and you could use it to cheer up too. So it's coming. Sorry. Oh, I did want to say one last thing. See, I should have just had my book open the whole time and then I wouldn't have forgotten. I signed up for the Knitting Pipeline Retreat. Well, let's put it this way. I sent in a check and my registration. So I don't know if I got it or not, but it's in March 13th and 14th, and it's in Washington, Illinois. And if you want more details, you can go to the Knitting Pipeline Retreat group in Ravelry, or you can also just look up knittingpipeline.com, and she explains it all in episode 192. But I have always wanted to go to a knitting retreat, always, and life has been too busy, and so I haven't been able to. But I was thinking that I could go this year, and I asked JK, and he said I should go and try, and it's not too far away from me, so I could drive, and I wouldn't have to be gone too long, so I won't have to leave the boys too long. So I'm excited. I hope I get in, and I hope I can go. I hope the weather doesn't conspire against me, but I just thought I'd put that out there just in case any of you have ever been. Tell me what it was like, and if you're going, let me know. It would be fun to meet some of you. Anyways, it'd be fun to hear if any of you have ever been to a knitting retreat, and which ones, and do you like them? Do you like going? Is it a fun thing to do? So anyways, I forgot to say that, but I did do it. The funny thing was, I was out of printer ink on my printer, and it was too cold to go out and get it, or at least I was too lazy to go to the store in the cold and get more printer ink. And I was so worried that she would fill up. So I copied by hand the entire registration form, then filled it in, filled in my check, and then posted it off. So she's getting a very funny registration form. But that's that. All right, I need to leave you guys, and I need to go. But you can find me on Ravelry as Christina Wall. You can find the Ravelry group as A Knitter's Life on Ravelry. And you can also find me almost daily on Instagram as A Knitter's Life. So I hope you come and participate and join the group. We'll see you until next time. Happy knitting!